Okay, what I'm going to show you here is how I play Paul McCartney's Calico Skies, and I play a little bit differently than the way he does it, mainly because I can't really strum and pluck the way he does. I sort of use my own version of it. I'll try and show you the way I think he does it, but primarily you'll be getting my version of it. Another thing I should tell you too is that to play and sing it does take a bit of practice at first, because you get the figure going in your head, and the singing sort of doesn't start on beat 1, it starts on beat 2. The way I'm counting it, I guess, is in a 6/8 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you start on the 2. Singing starts on the 2, the figure starts on 1. So you sort of have to get everything going independently. The playing, your fingers going independently from your singing. Okay, well the main figure goes like this. So that's the intro, and that's the way he plays all the verses. Now we'll start with show you what the left hand does. Now the first chord is going to be D up at the 10th fret, like that. So that will be open D, then second finger on the 11th fret of the 3rd string, the G string, and then the first finger on the B string, 10th fret, and on the 10th fret of the E string. First chord. Second chord is an A chord with a D in the bass. It's in a D shape, the D chord down at the 2nd fret, where we just move that all the way up to the 9th fret. And so you're going to have D open, then you're going to have your first finger on the 9th fret of the 3rd string, G string. And then you're going to have your 3rd finger on the 10th fret of the B string, and your 2nd finger on the 9th fret of the E string. Now you're going to move this down to the next chord, will be a G chord with a D in the bass. So it's the same shape, D chord fingering, slide it down to the 7th fret. So your open D, then on the G string you're going to be at the 7th fret this time with the first finger, 3rd finger on the 8th fret of the B string, and the 2nd finger on the 7th fret of the E string, the 1st string. So it's like that. So now we're going to move down to a D, which is going to another inversion of the D chord. Open D, and then you're going to have your 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the G string, and you're going to have your 4th finger, the pinky, on the 7th fret of the B string, and then first finger on the 5th fret of the E string. So it's going to be, now we're going to be down to a G chord. So you'll have open D, and then you'll have your 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the G string, which is 3rd string, and then you're going to have your first finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, the B string, and then your first finger on the 3rd fret of the E string. So beginning it goes, and the last one's going to be a D chord, just a plain D chord. We all know that one, right? Back again. Now the second time when we go through, it's so we're on a D chord. D chord at the 5th fret, and what we want to do is you're going to take the little finger and just lay it back onto the 7th fret of the E string. Slide down to G. Now when we play that piece, there's sort of a bit of a retard there. Well, that's the way I play it anyway. So it's okay, what I'm going to show you now is the strumming pattern for that figure, and that will be the way Paul does it is use his thumb and his index finger. I think called it pluck strums. I can't really do it that way too well, so. So that's sort of a mixture, sort of me doing my attempt at doing Paul McCartney. Okay, so what I'm going to show you here is the way I do the right hand picking for it. I generally use my thumb for the D string and the G string, and then the index finger gets the B string and the second finger gets the E string. Okay, now that piece, what I'm doing is I'm plucking the D and the two top strings, the B and the E string, together, like that. And then I'm going. So that's thumb gets the G string there. First finger gets the B string. Okay, so that's. So I just pluck the A. So when I pluck the D on the A chord, I'm plucking the D, and then there's the first and the second string again, and then slide down to the G and do the same thing. And the thumb gets that G note there. Well, it's not really a G note; it's the G string, but it's a D note. So it's okay. And then I go to the D chord at the 5th fret, and then I'm doing same way, you know, same pattern as I did up here. Okay, so if you have the chords learned from before, then just think about what these fingers are doing here. And it's actually the same pattern. Now this D here, remember on the second time, I'm just picking that. I'm plucking the D and the B string and the E string. Now what I'm doing is leaning that pinky over again, and then I just pluck that with the second string. That's how I get the B note. Then back down to the G chord. I get sometimes too, when I start the phrase, instead of going, I'll go. Okay, that's that piece. Now we'll do the chorus.